internationally renowned Australian horseman and entertainer Guy McLean is a proud Australian that has taken his beloved country to the world through his horsemanship, bush poetry, and double-handed stock whip mastery. To show what his treasured homeland is all about, from Queensland Bush to the bright lights of Las Vegas and New York City and every major equine festival in between, please put your hands together and welcome to the arena, Guy McLean.
Well, thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. And thank you to our wonderful announcer who's been doing a great job for the last 3 days here at the Big Draft Horse Classic. Ladies and gentlemen, how about a huge round of applause for those amazing heavy horses? Aren't they beautiful? Please give them a big clap. You know, what we have here today is basically people, wonderful people holding on to the history and being thankful for the past. I'm sure that all you know that before trucks and tractors and trains, they were the beautiful animals that tilled our soils, took our kids to school on buses, brought our milk to our house. And I think it's amazing that wonderful places like the Big E honour them. And I sincerely hope that in 1,000 years' time, when we're all dead and gone, that our great-great-great-grandkids get to watch wonderful horses like that, and we get to continue to honour the past. Because if you ask me, we'd be nothing without horses in the past, and we'd be nothing without them in the present, and we'd be nothing without them in the future. Oh, you can clap that. That's nice of you. Thank you. So, you may not realise, and I'm sure you haven't realised, but you may not realise that I don't have anything on these 3 horses on my right. They're running here at liberty. Basically, they are at liberty to do whatever they like, and they choose to stay with me. And I know you didn't know that because you didn't clap real loud when I came in, and I kind of thought, I know what you're doing. You're just being respectful. Oh, and I appreciate that. Respect is really important in this world, so you didn't want to scare my horses. Thank you, that's very nice of you. But I want you to see how well trained they are. I want you to clap and cheer as loud as you can and see if you can scare the horse of mine and see if you can scare those 3 from where they are. Go, give it your best. Well, if that's your best, you need to work on it just a little bit. But ladies and gentlemen, now you know that these horses aren't going to be frightened here today. They are professional performers, and the one that yawns in the middle, he just does that because he's saying hello, not because he's bored. Here I'm going to bring all 3 of them to me, side pass. The reason I taught the side pass is I thought I'd get more clap than just walking forward, but I was wrong. That's all right, that's okay, it's all right. You don't have to clap. It's hard to clap when you're on the Facebook and the Twitter, I understand. I'm going to leave those 3 standing still, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about where I'm from, what I stand for, and why these horses are so important to me. What I'm going to do is ask them to move off of their position here. So by pointing at their tails, I ask them to move away. And right now, they're no longer horses. They're 3 stock. And when we say stock, they could be 3 sheep, 3 cows, 3 chickens. I'm going to work them the same because I'm an Australian stockman. As an Australian stockman, it is my job to take care of the animals on the land. So when you go to Australia and you're sitting in the restaurant and you're having a wonderful meal, it was brought to you by a stockman, probably on a wonderful Australian stock horse over in our country. I do the same job as a stockman that the American cowboy does for you over here. And I control these animals by where I look and by the way I position myself. So if I want these 3 horses to go in a circle to the left, I push on their tails here with my body. If I want them to change direction, I push on their eyes. It seems to me they all want to roll down, lay down and roll, which is really good because I spent 2 hours this morning brushing them so they look pretty, just so they could come here and lay down. Here I'm going to work on them at a little bit more speed. If I ask my horse to go a little quicker, I can control them, and here I can get them to serpentine, to go right and left, all by where I position my horse. If I do some changes here and some sideways, I can control them. Now I'm going to ask for a little more speed. I'm going to work on this pretty one on the left because he likes to sign autographs a bit, so I've got to keep him away from the fence. I'm going to push up here and ask for a little bit more speed. And I've got to make sure they stay together. So I've got to watch this one here who likes to do things on his own a little bit. Because if you start out as a stockman with 3 stock and you end up with 2 stock, you don't get paid enough at market. So I'm going to push on them there. Quickly, you're supposed to run and look wild for a little bit. Let's change direction. Oh, now my microphone's whistling. I feel like I'm going a little faster. Now I'm going to circle up around them. And what this does is this teaches them to stop and stand in the middle like that. So we'll do this as a stockman. We might go around with 1,000 head of cattle or sheep, and we'll circle up around them until they stand still. And then that's how we'll control them. So basically a stockman on his horse would be a fence. By trotting around or walking around or cantering around, the horses learn, or the cattle and the sheep learn to stay still. So just wait 1 second for me as I just talk to my team for a little bit. I'm going to bring them here. You were here last night. I was going to say to them, I don't know why they don't clap, but you did, so it's all right. You'll notice the little horse on the far right. He was closest, he was in the middle, the one with the pretty white face. Did you notice he backed up and went over to that side? I'm going to tell you why. Because he thinks he's the prettiest in the team and he wants everyone to see him. He's also the shortest, and so he didn't want to be stuck in amongst the middle. A lot of people have said in the past, some of the greatest horsemen in the past have said that horses are not like humans. They do not have egos, they do not have agendas, they do not care about the way they look. They might be right for every other horse, but not for Lightning. He spent 3 hours in front of the mirror this morning making sure he looked just pretty enough for you all. I'm going to take Lightning from my right, bring him up here to my left, because this is his prettiest side, he tells me. At least that's what he has on his Facebook profile. I'm going to leave him standing still, bring these 2 horses over here. Basically, when I ask them to be with me, they should be totally locked on. When I allow them to stand still, I want them to just wait on me until I call upon them again. I reach out to the head of Hope and ask him to stand still. I'll bring this beautiful boy here, Ozzy. So here we have Ozzy, Hope, Lightning, and Spin Abbey that I ride. Spin Abbey is what I would call my Mr. Incredible. If they say there's a horse that's 1 in a million, I think this one would be probably 1 in a billion. He has so much athletic ability. He can canter sideways on request. He even has the ability, which not many horses in the world do. Probably only 2 or 3 horses in the world have the ability to canter backwards. You've got to try a little harder. I know it's deep. I'm going to go sideways here, see if he can't pick his beautiful body up. Give me a couple of canter strides backwards. You're a good boy. Very nice. So now, I want you to watch the difference between my horses. Here I pick up and say, Hope, come to Dad. Hope says, yes, sir. He salutes his head and he comes over to me and does exactly what I want. He is the number 1 of my team. He's an 18-year-old. He's just a superstar. I have to treat this other horse with the white face a little differently. If I ask him to come to me like that, he'll actually turn and go the other way. He is a teenager. And he will just say, no, I don't want to come. So instead I just go, I don't want you anyway, but I'm probably going to go to the shops and there might be some pretty girls there. And he goes, well, I'm coming too. I'm going to bring him here, ask him to stand still. Actually, you need to come up a little further. It was my fault. Apologise. Ask him to stand. Look at Ozzy. That's your favourite thing, standing still. Ozzy's going to come up here because I want to be able to show to you just how athletic my horse is and how these horses help me. See, I could say that I'm a barrel racer, but I didn't have any barrels. Well, I do now. So I'm going to set these horses up like barrels and run them around. If I thought you weren't going to clap, I wouldn't have bothered. I'm going to run this way. Oh, I love this microphone. I sound so fast. Ladies and gentlemen, he can't stop, so just catch him Very nice. Now, look at Lightning looking at me. That was very nice. Just going to come across here very quietly. I told you. Lightning goes, nah, I don't want to be a part of it, so I'll get a little closer. While he's looking away, it's no good me calling his name. So I just say, I don't really want you anyway. It's not important. I know that if he does run off, it'll take me an hour to catch him. Been there, done that. Here I'm going to see what happens if I work him a little bit. Lightning has got a song that he likes to sing. I did it my way. So I'm just going to work with him here. And this shows the skill of the horse that I ride. Lightning's fighting between two parts of him, the natural instinct to do what he wants when he wants, and the trained response. Did you see yourself on the big screen? You are gorgeous, aren't you? So now I'm going to change my mind, and I'm going to circle him up and tell him I don't want him. I'm just going to push him in here. And this is what we would do with cattle that didn't want to be caught. We'd just work them back into the mob. I'm going to take him from my right, left, and bring him up to my right. So, a lot of people want to say that horses aren't clever. I'll tell you right now that the dumbest thing about a horse is the human that leads him and rides him. They are the most incredibly clever horses, and the best way to catch him was to pretend I didn't want him at all. And then he came over to me and said, I'd rather be with you. I'm going to leave those two boys there, take my youngest horse, and he's young in age, but I've had all my best horses have been high level before they were his age because I had a lot more training. I'm going to leave him on the ground there for a second, see if I can't canter him around. You noticed my beautiful gelding Hope. He thinks that he has to do something different today from the others. So I'm going to bring him here, take Aussie, today Aussie. I'm going to bring all three horses forward and see if the little horse on the ground believes in me enough to bring all three horses over the top of him. Thank you. Now, this is entertainment. It's about giving you joy so you go home and you tell everyone about the Big E and what a great time you had. And hopefully you will. We have one more day here. We have another night show tonight. Please tell your friends to come and see us. I want to see this arena full. Because anyone that honours animals and wants to keep them in our lives forever like the Big E deserves to be supported. But it's more than just performing. These four animals here don't do this because they were bred this way. They don't do it because their mum and dad were rich or because their parents know the president. They do it because I believe in them. They do it because I say to them, you are special in your own right. And if you give me your very best, you will have a place in this world that is your own forever. Not one of these horses could ever be bought. There is not enough money to buy them from me. And so what I wanted to do today for you was to entertain you, but to show you what a life dedicated to something bigger than yourself looks like. My life is dedicated to horses, everything about them. And I realize that being a horseman is much more than just working horses, about being a better person, a better friend, a better husband, and a better dad. And they've taught me all of those things in the life I've had with them. Have a wonderful day, and we hope to see you somewhere real soon. Good boys. Thank you. Thank you, sir.